Hey, it's John Shea here from Almost Famous Radio with a podcast recommendation for you. You've heard Katie Dobbins interviewed on this show before, and you've heard us play her music as well. But did you know she also has a podcast? It's called Let the Music Set You Free. And on this podcast, she talks with New England area musicians about how music has helped them break free from things that have held them back in life and even made them more creative people. This week's guest is Boston singer-songwriter Louis Apollon. Find it on the podcast app, on your iPhone, or search for Let the Music Set You Free on Podbean.
When you're almost famous, you just might find yourself live on air on WATD. Hour 2 of Almost Famous begins now.
Welcome to the tiny stage portion of Almost Famous here on 95.9 WATD. Every Tuesday night from 8 till 10 p.m., we introduce you to some amazing local bands and musicians from right here on the South Shore into Boston and all across New England, brought to you by Tiny & Sons Glass. My name is John Shea. Tonight we have in studio Strangers by Accident. Guys, how you doing in there tonight?
Great.
Good,
Thanks for having us.
My pleasure. Good to have you here. So who wants to take this first question? Who is Strangers by Accident?
Go for it, Brian.
All right. So we are right now we're a 4-piece indie folk band, I guess is what the label we've come up with. And we started out a few years ago. Amy and I were actually a duo, more of an acoustic duo. And we slowly kind of come along and built our sound. And we just released our second EP, I think, last month.
Yeah, in December of 2017.
Very cool. And what's it called?
It's called Reckless.
Reckless. Very cool. And where is this available?
You can find it online on Spotify, iTunes, all of your favorite media sources online, and also we have some hard copies if anyone wants to track us down for those CDs.
Nice. And the show date's available up on the website, I suppose.
Yes, www.strangersbyaccident.com.
And who do we have in studio tonight?
We have Justin Bartlett over there.
Hello.
Playing guitar, singing. We have Amy Wynn, also singing, playing a variety of instruments.
And behind you guys,
We have Heidi Crampton back there, our drummer and percussion extraordinaire.
and what is she playing? Because there's a multiple amount of interesting
Well, I've got a
instruments back
plethora
there.
here. A suitcase drum and a snare drum with a small splash cymbal on it is my primary drum set modification I'm working with now. But I've also got some some other auxiliary percussion, tambourines, cowbells, all that good stuff. Glockenspiel. You'll hear it.
Nice. Very cool.
And then we don't want to forget about Brian Sousa over here on guitar and vocals.
Nice. Well, welcome, guys. Thanks for coming down to Marshfield tonight.
Yeah, thank you.
Let's launch right into the first song. What are you guys going to share with us first tonight?
We are going to play a song called Adelaide. That's a fairly new song we've been working on the last few months.
Excellent. Let's hear it. We have Strangers by Accident live in studio tonight. 95.9 WATD. It's all yours, guys.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Honey, would you call me back? I think I'm losing track of where I end and I begin. Honey, it's a heart attack 'cause I took something and I got bugs crawling underneath my skin. She doesn't hold me like that. She doesn't hold me like that, sweet Adelaide. She doesn't hold me like that. She doesn't hold me like that, sweet Adelaide. Honey, won't you call me back? I think I'm losing track of who I am hold me like that, sweet Adelaide. She doesn't hold me like that. She doesn't hold me like that, sweet Adelaide.
We have Strangers by Accident in studio tonight on 95.9 WATD. Nice job on that. Who wants to share what that song's about?
So that song kind of came together, I think, like maybe in pieces, like a year ago or so, and it was kind of about a combination of things. It's actually not really about a woman named Adelaide, but more about kind of trying to figure out where you fit in your life at the time, and having a time when you really want to reach out to someone and call them, but your mind was kind of all over the place.
Understood completely. Very nice. Who does who has the songwriting responsibilities in the band, or is it kind of a shared collaborative?
That would mostly be Brian over here. He and I collaborate a lot, but he definitely plants the seed for each of our songs, I'd say.
That's very cool. Now, take us through, Brian, take us through how you typically, how the inspiration comes. Does it just kind of pop into your head, or do you kind of have a routine when you want to write a song?
Yeah, I mean, Amy can speak to this too, because we read a lot together. But for me, it's like it'll either be like a musical piece that I'll start playing, or it's a lot of times it's a lyric idea that then I'll write a few chords, or I'll develop it and I'll send whatever that piece is to Amy and go back and forth that way.
Very cool. Now, is this the second recording you guys have done together as a band, Reckless?
Yeah, so Reckless is our first full band EP.
Oh, cool.
The first album that we made together was Brian and I as a duo, and then it was actually for our release show for that first EP that we wanted a little bit more sound behind it, and we found Justin and Heidi to join us. And from that release show on, we embraced them into the band and went forward with kind of a thicker sound.
Right. Kind
That's
of say
awesome.
goodbye to the suitcase drum.
So it's back. It's back this evening.
Back tonight. So take us through the studio process. What was it like recording this?
So we work with a great guy by the name of Devin Dawson at Baritone Studio, which is in Waltham, Mass. right now. And we met him for our first album, which he produced and recorded, both of them. And we really enjoy working with him and kind of molding that production. I don't know if you...
Yeah, so I mean, I think for this album we actually had a lot of the parts. We had, kind of a plan of how we wanted to sound and what we wanted to do, and it was great having Justin and Heidi to work with, and a lot of these songs I think we were playing live for a while, so they felt pretty comfortable. And then Devin always adds, like we had a stand-up bassist play on a few songs, and we had to put some keys on a few songs. So he adds a lot of, whether it's people he knows or things he wants to play, a lot of like different touches. But
Was it primarily a live recording, or did you guys track this?
no, we tracked it. Yeah.
Cool. It sounds like a live recording. When you listen to it, you never know it was tracked. It sounds like you guys are playing.
We wanted to
in the
get
room.
that sound, especially even on the first EP, of that kind of more of a, an analog or more of a live feel as opposed to it being too polished. So it's good if we did that.
Very cool. Well, let's keep on going with the music here. I think we're kind of running ahead of schedule here, so we have plenty of time for songs tonight. What are we going to hear next?
Our next song is the first song off of our album Reckless. It's called Dealer.
All right, let's hear it. We have Strangers by Accident in studio tonight. 95.9 WATD, all yours.
You keep dealing me these lines, I'll know you ain't coming back. Try to keep you by my side. I played all the cards I remember we used to dance. Me neither. If you keep telling me you've changed, I still won't believe. I can read it on your face. You will never leave. Don't believe that anymore. Don't want to force my hand. Just because I loved you more, don't mean I will again. Remember we used to dance. Me neither. Me neither. Remember we walked hand in hand. Me neither. Me neither. Like fever, you come over me the strangest times. You're not yours, you are not meant to be mine. So don't call me anymore. I don't want your second chance. I am on the train at dawn. Baby, catch me if you can.
That is Strangers by Accident live in studio tonight on 95.9 WATD. Nice job on that one, guys.
Thank you.
Take us through what that's about. Whoever wants
So
to.
that song, it's kind of funny. Amy and I had played that years ago. I first wrote that as it was kind of a slow, sad song about a breakup, and we thought it was a little too slow, or maybe a little too depressing to play as was written. And then one day, I think we just started playing it almost like for fun, playing it really, faster as a blues song with electric guitar. Usually we play it's one of our loudest songs. And it works like that, so, but...
Yeah, kind of, I think it transformed from that sadness that you have in a breakup to kind of more of an anger, or kind of like a sassy...
Sassy? Yeah, it's got sass. It's like a kiss.
Fine, you left me.
Right, kiss off.
Too bad.
Very cool. That is Strangers by Accident in studio tonight. Can we talk influences?
We can.
Who wants to start there?
We go around, maybe. I can start. I grew up listening to a lot of classic rock stuff and the Beatles and Zeppelin, and then I think the stuff that we were talking about and listening to when we were recording was a little more indie rock, indie folk, Americana, like Deer Tick and Ryan Adams and bands like that. But
Yeah, I think we really love heavy harmonies, so the band Houndmouth, I know, was a huge influence when we started because they have some killer 3-part harmonies. Trying to think who else you left off. When we started, Shovels and Rope and Head in the Heart were kind of like our core, what we were going after when it was just Brian and I and acoustic and just kind of minimal, but it's definitely evolved into more of that rock sound over the past 2 or 3 years.
Cool. Who else wants to chime in on that?
Go for it.
Hi, this is Justin.
Hi, Justin.
Yeah, I mean, it's really interesting. We all have such specific tastes in music. For me, I'm a huge fan of like War on Drugs, Bon Iver, anything Jack White does. it even goes back to like when we were talking about harmonies. I think like whenever I'm thinking about harmonies, I'm always thinking about like Fleetwood Mac, which one of the songs tonight I always think it sounds like that we're gonna play is like very similar to Fleetwood Mac, and it makes me feel happy inside.
Very cool. Well, we at WATD, I think we probably play more Fleetwood Mac than any other radio station in the country. So
well, that's good. Yeah, but yeah, it's really cool to like come together with such different influences and like work on a collaborative project with everybody.
Very nice. And Heidi, last but not least, you're up.
So I grew up kind of listening to some heavier music too, kind of Ramones-esque. So I think, adding me to the band has sort of been a balance for everyone to try and, add a little bit of that energy, but also not turn into, the kind of classic punk rock band. But I think we're shifting in a pretty cool.
The Neil Peart of
direction.
folk rock?
What's that?
The Neil Peart of folk rock?
Oh, yeah, that's me.
So I think harmony seems to be kind of a lost art in music lately, and you guys are really good at finding the perfect places to fit those harmonies in. How do you guys learn the harmonies, and how do you work them into your songs? Like, how do you figure out which parts go where?
So I think I'm not going to answer that, but I am going to say that when we first started, that was what I really wanted. I envisioned, like, I put an ad on Craigslist that was talking about songs featured a song I'd written, and I asked specifically for, no offense to Justin, but I asked for female singing harmonies or that sound that I was listening to so much. Like,
You can always pitch his voice up a little bit.
What's that?
You can pitch his voice up.
Right.
We do have the same range, kind of.
And I think that's one of my favorite things about this band and about playing with these guys, and especially writing with Amy is, for example, that song "Dealer." It's a much different song before she figured out harmonies, and she's so good at writing harmonies that I'll just send her a verse or a chorus, and then the song will kind of develop from there and turn on its head and become much more rich and interesting. So
very cool. We have Strangers by Accident in studio tonight on 95.9 WATD. We have to take our first break of the night, but we have more with them on the other side of this. You're listening to 95.9 WATD. The South Shores radio station, almost famous every Tuesday night, 8 till 10 p.m., brought to you by Tiny & Sons Glass with me, John Shea, where we introduce you to local bands and musicians from right here on the South Shore into Boston and all across New England. We'll be right back after this.
A positive message.
Blessed is he who in the name of charity and goodwill shepherds the weak through the valley of darkness.
Who is the happy ending?
But I lay my vengeance upon her.
Almost Famous, 95.9 WATD.
Welcome back to Almost Famous here on 95.9 WATD. My name is John Shea, introducing you to local bands and musicians from right here on the South Shore into Boston and all across New England. We do it every Tuesday night here on WATD. Make sure to follow us online tonight, facebook.com/almostfamousradio. And in studio tonight, live on the tiny stage, we say hello once again to Strangers by Accident. Guys, how you doing in there?
Doing good, thank you.
My pleasure. Thank you once again for coming down to the South Shore tonight.
Our pleasure. Thanks so much for having us.
Anytime. I love the EP. I love the album. So thank you so much for getting it to me and for playing your music tonight.
Thanks for listening to it.
Anytime. Let's talk about the band itself. Give your website a plug and maybe do one more round of introductions of who's here in studio tonight.
I'm Brian Souza, and our website is, I guess the easiest one is strangersbyaccident.com.
Cool. How about like the social media platform, Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest, anything like that?
Yeah, you can find us, our antics on Instagram at Strangers by Accident, also Facebook, same name. And then Twitter, we're still all learning how to use it, but we are on it.
Excellent, very cool. So can we talk about your musical backgrounds?
I guess I'll start. So I'm Amy Wynn, and my background was actually pretty classical. I was a classical vocalist for a while. And kind of picked up a guitar maybe 10 years ago, even though you wouldn't guess that by how bad I still am at it.
You sound great.
But it wasn't until I met Brian that I kind of bridged into more like popular stuff, and I actually found my voice and liked my voice a lot more than when I was singing like Italian opera. I never really felt good about that, even though I was doing it for a while.
We want you to sing Italian opera.
That would be pretty
Our
epic.
shows.
Work that into the set.
Yeah, I grew up. I think I played violin as a kid a little bit, and then started playing guitar and writing songs in college, and then was in a few different bands. Actually, came here a few years ago with a different band.
I was going to say, yeah, you look very familiar. It was, we were talking out in the parking lot. It was Ocean Transfer,
Yeah.
which was, what, like 2012 maybe?
Something like that, yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, but yeah.
Who else we got in here?
Yeah, I started playing violin too, way back in the day in like 4th grade. And then I was a vocalist all through middle school and high school, and played guitar, I think probably started in 6th grade, and then just kind of progressively stopped playing the violin and really was focusing on guitar, where I started writing music as well, probably sometime in high school, and then got really serious in college and moved to Boston to play music, and so far feeling pretty good about it.
That's good. We like having you here.
Yeah, so I grew up like everyone else too, playing music. I started playing drum set when I saw my brother got a drum set, and I was super jealous. So I kept playing. But then in high school, I played mostly in punk bands, primarily all-girls punk band. Woo!
That sounds cool.
But I also played in jazz bands and Latin ensembles, and I went to college for classical percussion and music education. And then moved to Boston for music therapy school, and here I am.
Excellent. Well, welcome. Let's talk more about the EP Reckless. Let us know where this is available.
So you can find it online. It's on Bandcamp. It's also on iTunes, Spotify, Apple Music, all of that fun stuff for streaming. And then if you come out to our shows, which you can find listed on our website, www.strangersbyaccident.com, you can pick up a hard copy for $5, which is a bargain.
That's a great deal. Can we hear some more music off the EP?
Absolutely.
Yeah, we'd love to play the title track for you next.
Let's hear it. We have Strangers by Accident in studio tonight on 95.9 WATD. It is all yours.
I've been drinking myself to the bone. I've been sleeping with all the lights on. I've been waiting for you to come home and just let me in. I've been worried about paying the bills. I've been swallowing all the right pills. I come stumbling to your windowsill, smelling like sin. Won't you please let me in? tasted like wine. And I'm burning, burning like fire for you, for you, for you. I've been lying to my family. They'll all find out eventually. Maybe then we could all get some sleep. I miss you like hell. Reckless, and I don't know why. And our last kiss tasted like wine. And I'm burning, burning like fire, burning like fire for you, for you, for you. You wore no shoes. It was August in May. And I drove away. There was nothing to say. I drove away. There was nothing to say. I drove away. And it started to rain. Reckless, and I don't know why. And our last kiss tasted like wine.
Strangers by Accident in studio tonight on 95.9 WATD. Nice job on that, guys.
Thank you.
Who wants to tell us about that song? Is that Brian again?
Brian gets nominated every time, probably.
So that's the title track of the new EP, and I actually wrote a big part of that last year at this time, more or less, and it's about. I mean, in a lot of ways, it's about losing or looking back on a lost relationship, and then also, my sister had said that I was somewhat reckless one night, and I wrote a few lines based off of that, and brought it back. Went on vacation and wrote it. Actually, used a little like GarageBand piano and brought it back to. Sent it to Amy, I think, first, and then brought it to played it with Justin and Heidi, and it kind of really developed from there. It kind of took on a life of its own, and it's one of our favorite songs to play, I think, for sure.
Very cool. I was loving the harmonies in that, too.
Thank you.
So when you're writing songs, Brian, do you ever write a song and then go back and change it, or do you find that once a song is done, it's done?
Right. I mean, and I think these guys could speak to this too, but for me, it's if I get the bones of it down, I'll revise it over the next few weeks or however long it takes. So I'll go back and change it. Also, sometimes I'll send Amy an idea, and then she'll go in and say, this is the part that works, and this is the part that doesn't work. You know. So that's when we work together like that. It's so helpful, and so I think that's where the best songs come from.
And do any of you have any songs that you feel might be too personal to share, and you kind of keep it to yourself?
Well, I just wrote one called Amy Joined a Country Band, and that one is a little personal, because I had a dream that she quit the band and joined a country band, and then I went to see her, and she was in a band called The Devil Makes Four.
How were they?
There is The Devil Makes Three, and I was really sad when I woke up, so that was a little personal. But generally for me, like in terms of writing, what I'm trying to do is, share something emotional with the listener. I think those are the best songs for me, so I don't know if it could ever get too emotional or too honest, but I don't know how you guys feel.
How about you, Amy?
Yeah, well, I definitely have always valued, since I met Brian, how honest he is and how all of his songs are, like, kind of, he's an open book with his writing, because that's something I personally struggle with. I'll write a song and I'll feel like the lyrics are kind of garbage the first take, and it'll take a while for me to like chisel at what my real emotions are, and then I definitely have a lot of nerves sharing that. But Brian's writing, and I think the reason that, well, I don't want to speak for us all, but why we love kind of the art that we're making with strangers is how vulnerable it is and how willing to share like some of the harder pieces of heartbreak our music is, I guess.
Very cool. Now, have you started working on the follow-up project to Reckless?
Theoretically.
Yeah. So 2 of the songs that you'll hear this evening, one was the first one we played, Adelaide, and one will be a little later, maybe the next song, called Stay and Fight. Those are our 2 newest songs, and we haven't gone into the studio yet, but we're kind of brainstorming and trying to save money for recording, whether or not those will be a single or part of a 30p or even a first full length. We're still kind of brainstorming what's next. But Brian is always writing. Once a week, if not more. There's a new seed of a song. It's a question of whether we have kind of the time and attention to cultivate it right now, since we're promoting this album. But we're always cranking out new stuff.
And we have a couple more that we've been working on too.
Yeah.
That we haven't even finished. So
Excellent. What is the typical Strangers by Accident live show like?
Chaos. Justin Burns' guitar.
Like the Keith Moon blowing up the drum set?
Yeah, Heidi breaks everything.
Yeah, that's a good question, because we've been working on it as we've kind of evolved some of our slower, sadder songs and kind of blending them with the rock sound that we have going. We kind of try to have like a journey through our set of like yanking your heartstrings, but then having a little bit of rock thrown in to not make you completely in tears, but then there are different emotional pieces of it. We're
trying to, I think when we first started, Amy and I, we found that we were just playing these really sad songs, especially as a duo, and they worked really well, but we're trying to be more dynamic now, and I think it's really helped to have 4 people in the band and, have some solos and some instrumental, make it more of a show as opposed to here's a sad thing that happened to me.
Yeah, I see what you mean. Can we hear some more music?
Sure.
Yes.
What are we going to hear next?
I think you're going to hear Seattle.
Okay.
Which was the first single off of Reckless that we released. We released Seattle, I think, last November. So hope you enjoy it.
Well, let's hear it. We have Strangers by Accident live in studio tonight on 95.9 WATD. It's all yours.
I think it's time that we both say goodnight. Maybe there won't be no next time. The weather's changing seasons, I fell in love with leaving years ago. Oh, Seattle, it's time to go.
I think it's time that we both say goodbye. Maybe there won't be no next time. I hope the rehab suits you. I knew that I would lose you years ago. California, I'm coming home. Oh, Seattle, you're killing me. No one ever falls in love free. Oh, Seattle, it's time to leave. Someone always falls in too deep. I think it's clear and we both know it's time. Packing up my bags on the early flight. Sick of not believing. I fell in love with leaving instead of you. Oh, this gypsy life, I'll wear it like a suit. Oh, this gypsy life, I'll wear it like a suit. Oh, Seattle, you're killing me. No one ever falls in love free. Oh, Seattle, it's time to leave. Someone always falls in too deep. Lately I have got a little money saved, and all my friends are moving to a better place. But in my heart I know you'll never change. Think your life's a novel, but it's a crossed off page. Seattle, you're killing me. 'Cause no one ever falls in love free. Oh, Seattle, it's time to leave. Someone always falls in too deep. California, here I come. Maybe you could show me how to fall in love. California, I'm coming home. Hope to God that I can be your only son. Hope to God that I can be your only son. I hope to God that I can be your only son.
Very nice. That is Strangers by Accident in studio tonight on 95.9 WATD. Great job on that one.
Thank you.
So I want to just keep on going here with the music. So what do you want to share with us next?
So this one's going to be a brand new one.
All right.
So we'll see how it goes.
We like brand new songs.
Excited.
Go for it. And while you're changing instruments there, why don't you share with us the website again?
Yes, that is www.strangersbyaccident.com.
Excellent. You guys set to go in there?
Yeah.
Okay, let's hear it.
We are driving in your car, and I feel I've been here before. I was thinking, how will this one end? Will we fall in love? just pretend. We were lying in my bed, and you were dreaming of her instead. We were drinking just to numb the pain. The world is ending. Will I see your face again?
That is Strangers by Accident, live on the tiny stage tonight. 95.9 WATD, a new tune there. That was cool. I like that one.
Thanks.
Share the name of that one more again with us, if you would.
That is called Stay and Fight.
Stay and Fight. Very nice. And that's potentially going to be on the next release?
That is the plan.
Cool. Excellent.
Hopefully soon.
We have to take one last time out here on 95.9 WATD, but I think we have time for one more song. Does that work for you guys?
I need to switch instruments.
Yes,
if that's okay.
we can do that, sure. And we can do that during the commercial. You're listening to Almost Famous on 95.9 WATD.
A message to struggling musicians. Don't give up. Ever.
Victory is mine.
Almost Famous, 95.9 WATD.
Welcome back to Almost Famous here on 95.9 WATD as we near 10 o'clock and make way for Peter Black in the wide world of blues, introducing you to all things blues tonight, and that includes music influenced by blues, music that blues influences, and a whole lot more here on 95.9 WATD. That's coming up at 10 o'clock tonight with Peter Black here on the wide world of blues. My name is John, and we are introducing you to local bands and musicians from right here on the South Shore into Boston and all across New England. It's called Almost Famous, and we have on the tiny stage tonight Strangers by Accident. Guys, how you doing in there?
Great. Thanks, John.
Yeah.
My pleasure. Thank you for coming down to the South Shore tonight. You guys sound fantastic.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having us.
My
Appreciate
pleasure.
it.
So one last time, share with us your website and any other online information, and give the EP a plug as well.
Right, so we just released our second EP. It's called Reckless. It's available Spotify, Bandcamp, iTunes, Apple Music, pretty much everywhere you can think of. And then our website is www.strangersbyaccident.com. And if you check that out, we have a lot of shows coming up over the next few months. So if you check that out, we'd love to see you out at a show.
Excellent. Well, I think we have time for one last song before we pass things over to Peter Black. So what are you taking us to 10 o'clock with?
Great. This is our song, Portland.
All right. You've got Strangers by Accident. One last time here on 95.9 WATD. It's all yours.
I ain't got nowhere to go. Another city, another time. You know Seattle gets so cold, even in the summertime. I've been staying out too late. Promises are hard to keep. Baby, I don't believe in fate, and you don't believe in me. But I've got one more song in my throat. You got a ticket in your hand again. Baby, tell me you get on that Portland train with a bottle by your side. Baby, tell me you're not broken, you're just changing a bit. And I hope you enjoy the ride. And now nothing feels real. I smoke cigarettes for days. I can't touch and I can't feel. Through the window, cities change. But I've got one more song in my throat. You got a ticket in your hand again. Baby, tell me
listening to the South Shores radio station, 95.9 FM, WATD in Marshfield.